Hey guys, Jay here. In this video today, I want to share with you guys the summary of the TalkativeTri's recent interview with Jonathan Roger. I have just finished watching it. It's a very good one. Highly recommend you to go and watch the whole thing. But I know that it is not for everyone. I know that not everybody is going to spend like more than 1.5 hour to watch the whole interview, right? So I want to give a sum up. Basically, here are the details that I think are notable. We all know that Jonathan, in all the interviews before, he is someone who is very talkative, more talkative than TalkativeTri. He just talk a lot and a lot of in-depth stuff that is kind of random. That is, I don't think it is actually interesting to the average people. Right? Let's just say it is a little bit too much. So I want to sum up the keynotes, and here are the keynotes. Here I have it on the screen, and I will go through each of them. It is going to take a little bit, but hey, it is going to be much shorter than the whole interview, right? So this is the kind of like acceptable size for you. Then yeah, here it is. So before I started with the main content of the video, if you find this helpful or interesting in any way, consider to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And without further ado, let's just get to the main thing, right? So first of all, GGG now locks date. They can now have a specific and accurate update and announcement. Content cycle is back. What did this mean? Well, before they used to just have a 3 to 4 months cycle of just releasing new content, new leak for POE1. That is gone in the last year because of POE2 release. There is so much work that they need to do. They need to like pool resources here and there just to balance out the release of 2 games. And therefore, as a result, we have a early access POE2 and a POE1 game that basically got like almost abandoned for the year. Let's just say that. It's no longer the thing, right? They got everything's kind of back in schedule. And right now, from now on, they will be able to basically do the same with the upcoming POE2 and POE1 content. So content cycle is back. This is very big for especially people like me who are like a content creator, regardless of being a small or a big creator. This is really big. And for like most like players in general, it is good, right? We have like new content to play. We have a new league back every like few months. That is going to be exciting in general. Very big W, I mean. Second, this is a little bit of POE1. Zana is confirmed back in POE1. We don't know how, what will she do? Will she turn bad or anything? Doesn't matter. Zana is back. We can see Matho cosplaying Zana again. This is not related to everybody, but he is saying basically China is getting early access POE2 soon. Maybe it would affect the economy a little bit because right now all the players that is from China, there's very big community in China who plays POE and POE2. So right now they all have to like do some kind of VPN stuff and play on the same global server, but they are going to have their own EA version soon, basically. So that is going to change stuff a little bit in the economy of what we are playing in the global version, maybe. Anyway, next one. Volatile Plans. This got asked, and well, this Volatile Plans, recently we got the data that 54% of the death of all players that is playing the game, and that is a lot of players, are from the Chaos Volatile Plans. This got discussed a little bit. Well, long story short, it still got nerfed. But right now, PoE is going to be taking a more data-driven approach for balancing. I think this is a very good thing because we have seen in the past that a lot of the stuff that PoE balance, especially in PoE1, in some cases in the past, is balancing based off of we don't know whatever. There are skills that is absolutely dominant in the meta and never got touched, and there are skills that just nobody used but randomly gets like destroyed, nerfed for no reason. So right now I think this is good, right? Personally, I am a data person. I work as like kind of like a data analyst not specifically, but you know, it is part of my work, right? So I think this is good overall. It just means that for the general, for the good of the average people, I think this is going to be bigger than you think. It is not going to be clear, but this is very, very good. GG got a data person that actually plays PoE now. So this was the blocker before, that they could not get this approach, but right now we need a data person that actually understand PoE. Jonathan said they got it, so let's just see. Mid-league changes. So GG, Jonathan confirmed that they will not nerf stuff mid-league. If it is a bug, it will get fixed, but if it's not a bug, if it is something that is really strong, like the Lightning Spear of Dawn of the Hunt, it would not get nerfed. But they will buff stuff. So we can expect them to actually buff either skill to like the same level of the broken skill or closer to the level of broken skill. So maybe we'll still have like a more diverse meta in the end while we are playing the game, right? This will come next patch, which is going to be relatively soon. Weapon swap speed, well, this is a question that I did not expect, but anyway, Jonathan said that they wanted to improve the weapon swap speed by scaling. By scaling with attack speed. This is what I mean. But this has some like technical difficulty and some situation where it makes sense. For example, if it is a caster weapon which does not have a attack speed, then it would just not make sense in general. But he said that they will never make it instant because of like logic. I would be a fan if it is instant. I personally would like it to be instant because I don't care that much about like actual logic in the game. I just want it to feel good. But certainly, I do think that weapon swap needs to speed up a little bit. If they just like let the base weapon swap speed to be like faster, that would be okay as well. But they don't need to touch this that much, right? They should just improve it a little bit, in my personal opinion. Lock weapon will be soon, will be here very soon. So this is basically using one weapon for 2 weapon sets. This is very, very nice. A lot of builds, like you have a very nice weapon. And you have 2 different skill tree for weapon set 1 and set 2. One is for single target, one is for clear. That is the like most common scenario, right? You want to use that very nice weapon for both weapon set. Right now you cannot use it, but soon you will be able to use this one, right? So weapon lock is going to be good. There will be potentially a cross weapon class skill, but it will be done around unique items. I don't know if I like this one. I am a fan of making a skill, if it logically can work with multiple types of weapon, it should work with multiple types of weapon. For example, slam skill, if you can use it with a staff, you can use it with a mace. Thunderous leap, if you can use it with the spear for some reason, it is a leaping skill, so normally it is tied to like a very heavy weapon. I would like it to be able to be used with a mace. Just my opinion. But here is the direction that they are going to take. It will be done around unique items. So maybe we can have a mace that can use the skill from like other weapon classes, maybe. Who knows, right? There are more bosses in end game content. So they confirmed, GG, Jonathan, let's just say, when I refer to they, I mean GG, right? They confirmed that Breach bosses are already made. They have the models, they just did not finish it, and they cannot put it in the game yet. So even the existing content in the game will be improved by a lot in terms of varieties of stuff that you can do, just the sheer amount of content that you can have with that specific mechanic. Mark Robert is the GOAT. He is the one who decided that vacuuming all splinters into the end of the breach is a good idea. Man, it absolutely is a good idea. So shout out to Mark Robert. Again, the GOAT. Neon. Another W for Neon. eventually there will be a boss in every zone. There will be way more than the promised 100 bosses. So they say that they have the ideas for basically all the bosses for every single zone, but because the amount of work that need to be done to actually put the boss functionally in the game, that they can function as the part of the game, is a lot of work. So some of them are not finished, but in the end, all the areas that we are knowing right now and the future areas that come with Act 4, Act 5, Act 6, they all going to have one specific boss at least. GGG tries to catch feedback in all form. They have the community team for that. So yeah, if you want to voice your feedback, just go to like forum, Reddit, for like small content creator like me, like a lot of other people of Meta Michaels. We can just post videos. The community team should get it, right? It's just, hey, Jonathan said that Jonathan himself and the other like people at the top of GG, they cannot watch everything, and it makes sense, right? It makes sense. But they will watch they will know that something becomes like really viral, just not viral, but viral in a sense that it's getting a lot of attention in the POE, maybe from like a big creator, get a lot of views from a video that everybody is agreeing with, then they probably watch it themselves just because they see it. Right? GGG thinks that Harvest resistance swap makes the game too easy. This is not the game, but technically it is itemizing too easy. This is very sad. I think this is probably one of the best feature in the game. I mean, how many times did you see a piece of gear that is so goddamn good, but if you used it, it screw up your resistances? It's just, I hate it. I'm not a person that grind that hard in the end game. I don't grind the money to buy the GG stuff. I don't like spend a lot of time just economically grinding to get a lot of divines. So for me, I want things to be a little bit more achievable, right? And here is a case where I think this is good. I think that everybody who used this system likes it. So I am very sad if it is not making it to POE2. The Harvest Resistance Swap, if you are only POE2 player, this is basically on a piece of gear. For example, if you have Fire Resistant, you can pay some of the in-game currency that you farm from Harvest, which is a content like Breach, like Expedition. It is another kind of content. And you use that currency to basically change that Fire Resistant into another kind of resistant that you like Lightning, Cold. It costs a little bit of currency. It's not much. It is just really, really good for just general progression of like most of us average casual players. Runes is still the best system for now to fix gearing problem, and yeah, seems like GG is really fixating that socketable is crafting. To me, it's not that big of a deal. I don't really care, but until the point where runes actually can solve all the problems that we have, that used to be solvable with a crafting bench, you can't tell me that runes is the better system than crafting bench. I would disagree here. I still like the crafting bench. It solves multiple problems. The character stat problem, and also it is a sink of currency. Attribute requirement might be lower, but only for gems. So attribute requirement being too high is a problem right now in the game, where it limited the build diversity. For example, if you are the one very like easy to understand example that is like glaringly doesn't make any sense is most physical build right now. I know there are like a few spells that also deals physical damage, but most physical damage build right now is like Maze Warrior. A lot of them are Maze Warrior. We cannot use the curse that reduced enemies' armor, which is vulnerability. Vulnerability at level 20 is what is I think is 240 5 intelligence requirement. No build that is a warrior will be able to get that amount realistically. So yeah, it is just a problem. I think lowering it for gems is absolutely necessary. It is so much better for build diversity in general. So you can have a build that you can use skills that require different attribute together, right? That is not going to be a problem if they make this one, if they do this right. Gear requirement seems fine, and I completely agree with this one. Gear requirement seems okay. It is sometimes a little bit hard to get, but it is much more reachable compared to freaking gems. Gems is too much. Way too much. Tower system isn't perfect, but it is what works the best now. So players want to find more interesting stuff consistently in the game, and yeah, GEG is trying to figure out a good solution to that right now. It seems like the tower is the best system that they have like tested and have an idea for. They are open to changing it, but unless there is a better ideas comes out that is doable, tower is still going to be in the game. Personally, right? Personally, I think tower right now is in a pretty good state. Just personally. I know I'm not a juicer, so my ideas might not be valuable in the tower topic, but I think it's fine. And I think it feels fine. I want a little bit more tower stuff. Not because I want more juice, but I want to see what is coming earlier so I can actually plan the way I'm going, right? I just want to have that amount of control. Maybe reduce the power of the... no, actually, that becomes the previous problem. Anyway, that is tower. All right. Races are just for fun. Game will not be balancing around races, and right now they are making races just like randomly. They don't have any specific plan or idea around races. So that is around racing, the recent racing events. There will be a beginner's quest to introduce crafting. Well, crafting in quotation here means that using your currency orb onto your item. This apparently is not clear to like the actually very new player. I mean, I play PoE for too long, so I already think that is like natural, but yeah, it makes sense, right? So this doesn't hurt anyone. It's quite simple, and I think it will help a lot of new players to get into the game a little bit easier. For example, if you just transmute your weapon, hey, you can just maybe even double your damage or like 50% more damage like instantly in the early game. So that can be really good, right? The drop rate, this is very interesting one. The drop rate of Astra Mantis right now is 1 for every 45,000 divines. Jesus. Jonathan said he run a simulator and 45,000 divines drop. Then you will have one Astra Mantis on average. And they need to fix that. So they said that the problem, he said that the problem is right now all the bases in the game does not drop at the same quantity. You have way more like armor, weapon drops than jewelry, like the rings and amulet. So amulet is a very rare drop compared to other like normal pieces of gear already. And then Astra Mantis being a super rare unique amulet, just multiply that rarity by an insane amount. So it is way more rare than it should be. It will still be very, very rare, but it should not be this rare. Maybe it can cut it to like this much. That'll be good, right? Campaign feeling too long is mostly a pacing problem. So he got asked that the campaign is too long compared to PoE1, those kind of thing. I think I do agree with this one as well. It's mostly a pacing problem, not the actual size of the campaign. But I want to add one thing here. The campaign feeling long is because of some of the specific zone in the campaign that we need to walk through with that terrible pacing. This connect with the next point where movement speed that Jonathan said, movement speed of PoE 1 and 2 is the same. Well, in PoE1, there are way more ways that we can improve our movement speed early on, that we can just get through the campaign a little bit quicker. And it doesn't take away from the meaningful encounters at all. I think just the general walking speed of our character through the areas that doesn't have anything to kill, or just have way too like little monster. We just need to walk. We just want to walk through. And the Quicksilver Flask, for example, is like the obvious thing here. So in POE2, if they have something like this, hey, I think they should just add a flash slot for movement speed flash at this point, if they don't want to solve this problem anywhere else. Maybe the movement speed penalty of the gear slot that you are using is too much. The heavy armor, if you didn't notice that, put on a heavy armor and look at your movement speed. It is so much different compared to not wearing a heavy armor. Right, so there's a lot of problems here. I think the pacing is obviously, I agree on this one, the pacing is the problem. But they can also change the layout of some of the zones. For example, the Matland waterways or something, the one that you need to lift a bunch of liver and then just open the gate to the temple. That zone is bad. And the Apex of Filth as well, walking through that zone is horribly long. It feels long. I don't really care about if it is actually long or not, the whole campaign, but some of the experience that actually stand out to you, especially if it is negatively standing out to you, you will remember that, and that will affect the general experience of the whole campaign. So those zones, I think, are a problem. As cool thematically as they can be, you need to fix it, in my opinion. Make the path that you need to traverse lower. Period. I think that is going to solve a lot of the complaint about the campaign of the POE2 campaign. Because right now, if you think about it, if you actually know how to use a twink leveling setup, I'm not even talking about the racer who actually have like skills and knowledge to just speed running the campaign. But as your like second character, for example, if you do twink leveling, right now you can do it in POE1 in like 4 hours. In POE2, it is probably 5 hours. It's very, very doable. There is quite a few setups that you can do that. So I don't think it is that big of a problem, personally. The pacing, I mean, the whole campaign is not a big problem. It is not that long. The pacing and the feel of some of the zones is amplifying that feeling that it is a very long campaign. So that is my opinion. Lightning skill is stronger because it is designed to bounce around. Well, yeah, there's a lot of lightning skill that has been like dominant in the meta. Previously, in the previous patch, it is Spark. Right now, it is Lightning Spear. I mean, hey, why wouldn't you make fire to be a big and an explosive? It makes sense, right? Fireball should boom. Flame Blast looks cool. Why slap a cooldown on it? Just make it do less damage, but don't have a cooldown, please. Firestorm doesn't make sense as a fire skill, in my opinion. It should be like Ice Storm or something. Just make fire more impactful. That's it. It makes sense with the Ignite as well. Ignite is the element comes with fire skill. Fire damage, Ignite, right? Naturally. So why are most of the fire skill right now just do teeny tiny little bit of hits? Ember Fusillade does multiple small hit. Fireball do multiple small hit. Firestorm do multiple small hit. I don't understand why they have to design the fire skill that way. Big Boom, problem solved, Michael Bay. Those kind of shit just work, right? So make fire skill great again, please. Literally great, big. That is going to solve a lot of the problem with the fire skill. No decision is final. Everything can change, and if they are persuaded that it's good for the game, they will change it. Even the like philosophy of designing, even the vision. I don't, that word is not going to be mentioned by TalkativeTri or Jonathan in the actual interview, but hey, we all know what it is, right? So even the vision can change if they think it is good, but they need to be like, they need to actually believe that it is better to change their mind. Divination card is coming. We don't know exactly when, but it's coming. And there's no Mage Blood. I mean, I made a video saying that Mage Blood is already in POE2, and I think it is kind of correct. It just basically, the Charms is the replacement for the utility flask in POE1. So we have a infinite Charms, body armor, pragmatism. That basically is Mage Blood. It's just less good. A bunch of stuff about targeting. Well, targeting, yeah, I noticed some weird thing about targeting as well, but mainly because of the instruction of WASD. There's a lot of stuff that Jonathan explained here, but, well, long story short, it is going to be fixed. They are looking at it. They did not think that it would be a problem, because before the game is only click to move and everything makes sense, but now because of WASD, they need to change things to just make it smoother, like regardless of the way that you choose to play the game, right? Chat box is going to be revamped before the full release, so it is going to be clearer, easier to see, those kind of things. And last but not least, Druid isn't confirmed to be the next class. I am super sad for this one. I am on the TalkativeTri's side on this one. I would love the Druid. I think the Druid is super cool. I think that is probably the most hyped for one, because we already see the bear form. The bear is so cool, and especially remember this when you say that any other class is cooler. The bear can roll. It looks so goddamn. I mean, it's very funny. It is very cool. It is just very cute. A lot of different things, but I really dig the bear. I really want the bear to be in the game as soon as possible, personally. So, they did not confirm that it is not going to be in the next class. It can be, but we know nothing here. The Druid is mentioned, is asked, and there is no definitive answer to it. So yeah, this is actually because I put some of my, there's some of my input as well into some of my opinion here, so it is a little bit longer than it should, but hey, it is what it is, right? Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy. If you do, consider to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Remember, play the game. Do not let the game play you. Peace.